Thank you.
All right. You know what? We're still going to be staying in Kogi State for the next couple of minutes. And you will recall that earlier in the month, the Court of Appeal ordered fresh elections in Kogi West. That's right. We're going to Kogi West Senatorial District. And that area has been, of course, a source of major attention, especially because there's a peculiar rivalry between Senator Dino Melaye and Senator Smart Adeyemi for the senatorial seat. November 16 is also the date of decision for that senatorial seat. So before we meet our next guest, I'd like you to take a listen to what Senator Smart Adeyemi said just after the elections to set a tone for our next discussion.
We're happy that the judiciary once again have been able to prove that is the last hope of the common man, and they've been able to pass their verdict, their judgment, that result was not the result of the election that we participated. In essence, the results was tampered with, was mutilated. The result was forged. The result was not original. It was not what is tenable in any court of law. It was not something that should be respected to be given any valid. So it was invalid judgment that was produced because the result itself was tampered with, and they couldn't account for over 48,000 votes. Don't forget that Dino claimed he won with 15,000 votes, and you have in essence 48,000 votes that were not accredited. You know, these were votes that came as a result of tampering with the results. So you can rarely put it as votes that were recorded through the pen, but not the votes of the people.
And let's rejoin our guest who joins us from Abuja, Senator Dino Melaye. Thank you so much for your patience. You know what? Let's just get right into the build-up, to the senatorial district, the Kogi West senatorial district election. And one thing I'd like to take you up on is something fundamental to politics in Nigeria, and that's the question of ideology. Now, some people think in Nigeria that there's no difference between the main political parties, that's talking about the APC and the PDP. But as someone who has tasted, both parties, so to speak, is there a difference? And if there is, what is the difference in the ideology of both parties?
Anyway, I want to say good evening, Nigerians. And if you don't mind, quickly, before I respond to that question, earlier you asked me about the deputy governor problem in Kogi State, and I would say that though we live in perilous times in Kogi State, we live in times of vicissitude and vacillation, and from your statistics and what is happening, even with the Bureau of Statistics in this country, there is no gainsaying, and it's a fundamental truth and fact that Kogi State is the poverty capital of Nigeria. And as a legislator since 2007 in this country, I will tell you that what happened in the embargo of the deputy governor has two legs. One, by the convention, practice, and tenets of the legislature, and the other leg is the constitutionality of the matter. Then if you come by the parliament conventions and practice, the impeachment of the deputy governor took place on Friday. And let me assure you, and I think it is an open secret, that the legislature does not sit in plenary on Fridays. They sit on Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So that Friday is not a sitting day. And if there's any extraordinary reason for you to sit on a Friday, you will have to call the House and then suspend your rules. And I have seen the vote and proceedings of the Kogi State House of Assembly that did not reflect that. Again, Edward Onoja was screened as early as 7 a.m. on Monday. Again, the House of Assembly does not sit on Monday in plenary. They only sit on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Right.
And again, the hazard also showed that there was no suspension of the rules. So it is flagrant abuse of parliamentary conventions and practice and the rules of the House of Assembly in Kogi State itself.
Right.
The House of Assembly in Kogi State is a rubber stamp. They are all yes, sir, men to His Excellency, the Governor of Kogi State. And on the other end, the constitutionality of the matter, which everybody knows that there was a breach of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that is why the State House of Assembly, they are yet to make public the reasons for impeaching the governor. You have to make public the reasons. If you say, okay, there are infractions in the report, you have to let the public know those infractions.
Senator Melaye, I'm sorry, I have to butt in now. But I'd like to get your response to the other question now, if you may. Pardon my buttoning, but I'd like to get your response to the other question now.
Yeah, I heard what Smart Adeyemi just said now, and with due respect, Smart Adeyemi lies better than the tongue. What he has said there is fallacious, is malicious, is a blatant lie, and I am not going to join issues with him. And I want to tell you straight that the difference between APC and the PDP is the difference between darkness and light. Once I was blind as a member of the APC, and now I can see. And I can tell you clearly that when I was a member of the APC in 2015, Smart Adeyemi was a member of the PDP. And the PDP was the government at the center. The PDP was the government in the state government. And all the 7 local governments in Kogi West have been governed by 7 PDP local government chairmen. And I defeated him. And in 2019 again, I moved to the PDP, he moved to the APC. And we had the APC at the center. We had APC at the state level. We have APC at all the 7 local governments, and yet I defeated him again. And God has given me the opportunity now to score a hat trick, and I want to assure you that this 3rd time, I will also defeat Smart Adeyemi. And defeating him is not because Dino is popular. It is because in 8 years as Senator of the Federal Republic, Smart represented the West. He was only able to move 2 motions that did not go beyond 2nd reading in 8 years. That is 1 motion per term. 2 motions in 8 years. Where Dino Melaye moved 23, I'm talking of bills, moved 2 bills, sorry, 2 bills, not motions. And where Dino Melaye moved 24 bills in 3 years.
Okay.
He moved 8 motions in 8 years. That's 1 motion per year. And I moved 47 motions in 3 years. And not only that, the only thing he will claim is better than me is age. He's older than me, and I don't see that as an advantage. Academically, I have 7 solid degrees with 4 MScs. And right now, I'm a student of law at Bates University, 400 level 4th semester.
Okay.
And Smart's qualification is OND.
Senator Melaye, I'll have to step in because you're reeling out your CV, which I have to say is quite impressive. But another thing Senator Adeyemi said is that all the elections you have won, according to him, he said they've been questionable. And that's something he has said time and again. So how do you respond to that too?
They are not questionable because in 2015, we went through the tribunals, we went through the Court of Appeal, and I won. And if today, because of what I call judicial terrorism, I have been asked to go for another contest, does not, vitiate the records. We won that election clearly. And I want to tell you that I am so confident that we will win again because in 8 years, Smart Adeyemi have no project to show in the length and breadth of Kogi West. I have over 200 projects to show across the length and breadth of Kogi West Senatorial District. I challenge Smart Adeyemi to a street walk in any part of the West Senatorial District. In fact, in Iyara, his local government, his own community in Kogi State. What I'm saying is very clear. He will never win election against me in Kogi West because I have never done government contracts. I've never taken contract whether at local government, state, or federal level. He took contracts to do the road from his village to Aito Rugbede. He collected the money and abandoned the project. He did not do it. He collected money to do the township road
Senator
in
Melaye,
Mopa, Amuro.
Those are allegations that might need to be backed with proof, definitely. But on a final note, Senator Melaye, you have described him as your political wife. He's confident that he will win you in this coming elections. I mean, apparently this relationship between both of you has been on for years. Don't you think, and I know this will not be palatable to both your ears, but don't you think it's time for perhaps new legs or new hands for Kogi West?
I am a productive senator, and no reasonable team will change a winning horse. And I want to tell you that he is not only my political wife. I think I made a mistake of not getting him politically pregnant. That I am going to do now this time around. And I'm going to make sure he doesn't abort that baby. He is my political wife any day, any time. And I have this political and electoral advantage over him because of my performance. Right. And because for 8 years, his performance to the people of Kogi West is a beautiful nonsense. And today he has become, he's so broke, he's so broke, he can't manage poverty, and
Okay.
he has become an errand boy to the governor of Kogi State, and we are going to prove to him that the people of Kogi State have completely jettisoned the APC, and the PDP will win clearly due to the maladministration and misgovernance that has bedeviled the people of Kogi State. I want to tell you that, as far as I'm concerned, he's a retired politician.
All right, Senator Dino Melaye, would like to thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the program tonight. He's a PDP.
The pleasure is always mine. Thank you.
Kogi West, you're welcome. Kogi West Senatorial District candidate. You should know that we tried to get Senator Smart at AME on the program tonight. We reached out to him, but we couldn't get him. But we'll keep trying. Well, that's the program for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kayode Okikelu. Have a beautiful night.